Like,
Is it crooked? It looks crooked.
So you
That looks pretty good.
You can see
Yeah,
it
that looks
on
pretty
the
good.
top of
Now it's a little that way, but it's gonna be fine.
He's
You're not gonna get it perfect.
It looks good.
All right, sweet. We're set.
Alright.
We're set, bro. We set, brother.
Alright, Daniel. Are we good?
it. Yeah. Y'all ready?
I was born ready, dog. I was like, dude, I don't remember saying yes to this, but so yeah, that's how I got involved in Young Life. I met Robbie, and
That's
Yeah.
that's where we are. You met us at freaking 14.
yeah,
And
So
so
we were freshmen.
yeah, a bunch of goofballs coming off the bus. I remember it's kind of awkward. Y'all were like, who's this Clark guy? I'm like, who are these high schooler kids? Like, what do I do? Shake your hand? I don't know.
Let's form a group.
Yeah.
Let's call ourselves Rooftop Schools.
Where did that name come from? Do you remember?
It's because our
dorm room was like
our room was on the top.
It's on the roof. I remember that,
and
but the
we
Skittles.
We had the balcony,
Yeah.
and then we played a volleyball tournament. We needed a name, and we got all these different colored flags.
That's
Remember?
right.
Different colors like Skittles.
That's right. Yeah, it was
I
like,
didn't even remember that, dude.
that's impressive. Yeah, that's impressive.
Steel trap. I'm just saying, we were up there, and you had your ukulele too. We were trying to sing songs to people because we didn't have our phones.
Oh, that's right. We'd be on the balcony and singing
Yeah.
to the pedestrians, right?
We didn't have phones, yeah, so we couldn't remember songs. So we just had to like go through and freestyle.
Did we win? We won the cleanest cabin award, right?
Yeah.
Because we wrote a song for the cleaning ladies
Yeah.
And recorded video.
and recorded a video of it.
Yeah.
And so we cleaned our room. Our room was probably clean, maybe not the cleanest, but we had like, I think, some candy laid out for them, and then a note that said press play, and it was like,
I think it was said like "We Heart You" or something.
yeah, we heart the Tawashis. That was their name, the Tawashi, and we won. Yeah, that was the only time I won cleanest cabin that I can remember. I never win that stuff. You know, at camp, there's always a competition.
Yeah.
I never win that, so it was
And
a
then
dream.
you said like shortly after that, the position opened up.
Yeah.
You would actually do Young Life.
That's a job.
With TJ, yeah.
So you guys were at W2 White. I was still working consulting. So I was a volunteer when I met you guys, but then shortly after that, I left consulting to go on staff for Young Life, and did that for like the next 4 years after that.
Would you do it again? What would be thoughts or advice to someone who's thinking to do that? And
Totally.
just kind of your overall thoughts.
I would say, I think it's really common for especially millennials, but also like 23 to 26 year olds. Like this is the path. You're told your whole life, work hard in school so you can get a good job. You work hard in school, eventually you get a job, right? You get your job, you're like 22, 23, 24, you're getting your first like adult job, right? And you're 2 years in and you realize it's not fulfilling you like you thought it was. So you think, you know what, I'm gonna leave this corporate job, and I'm gonna move to Africa and I'm gonna feed the children, or whatever.
Make a church in Ecuador.
Make a church in Ecuador, yeah. So for me, it was I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna go do Young Life. And my advice would be, I mean, if you want to do it, great. I'm not gonna tell someone not to do something, but I think it is better to find a job that is a great fit for you, that has a great salary that you're excited about, and do the meaningful stuff both in your work and outside of your work. So go be a volunteer for Young Life, or Big Brothers Big Sisters, or volunteer. I think we are much more fulfilled doing that stuff that's relational. So people go and they like serve at food banks. That's good, but it's better to serve by building a relationship with someone, and that doesn't have to be your job. So that would be my recommendation. Find a job that's a good fit for you, and have a lot of financial freedom in that, because you're not stressed about where your money's coming from. And you don't need to go work for, like, a lot of people want to go work for a church. I want to go be a pastor, or I want to go work for Young Life, or I want to go to Ecuador, or whatever. Like, no, like, do that in your spare time. Because most of the, I have a lot of thoughts, but I'll leave it at that. So I would say, I personally, I learned so much on Young Life staff, so I can't totally say I regret it.
Yeah.
But what I love the most is this part.
Yeah.
And when you're on staff, a lot of your job is the fundraising, meetings and training and travel, and I don't enjoy that part. I enjoy this part, and I think, just because you hate your job doesn't mean you should swing the pendulum.
Yeah.
And a lot of millennials do that. You'll see, like, I'm bored and depressed. I'm gonna go either work for this is the trend. They either go work for a nonprofit or they move to Denver. That's what everybody does. Like they get depressed.
Yeah.
They realize that Dallas is not what they thought it would be, and they think all of their answers, all the problems will be solved if they move to Nashville or Denver, or they go work for a non. It's like that's not going to make you happy either. So that's kind of some of my thoughts.
Okay.
But I would for sure have been a mentor. If I could do it again, I think I would have tried to find a job that was a better fit for me than consulting, and volunteer for Young Life. You know, and continue mentoring.
I mean, we've said before, like we've known each other since the end of the year would be 2012, but 2011. I mean, we've known each other for
Like almost 10 years. That's like 10, 11 years.
and so
Holy smoke.
we've done Young Life for such a small part, but our relationship continued to grow for so many years. And
Totally.
It's like, I can see what you're saying. It's like it's more about like just building that relationship and but still have a stable source of income. And
Right,
just,
yeah.
And so
Totally.
oh, for sure. I mean,
I think the thing too with the job is we all have things that we are naturally good at and naturally suck at, and try to find a job that like maximizes the things that you're good at, because work is always going to be work. Like people are like, I want a job that I love. It's like, no, that's called playing video games. Like that's not a real job, you know? I mean, like work is going to suck. That's the nature of work, but humans will also thrive off challenge. So that's not a bad thing that work is hard. So don't let that be the problem, but find the work that it feels like you're just floating downstream. Like you go farther, faster. Like for me, if I was to be a writer, that would be me climbing uphill every day. I'm a terrible writer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at software. Software is natural for me. So I would say find a job that is somewhat natural for you. You're going to be happier at a job. If you're good at your job, you're going to be happy because it feels good to be good at what you do.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a better career because you get reward. Like this isn't like elementary school where everyone gets a trophy. You know, in the business world and the work world, you get rewarded for how good you are, how well you do. And so I don't think that's fair or unfair. I think that's just life. So find a job that lines up with your strengths. I would say look for that. Don't look for the job that sounds like a fantasy world, and don't chase the money either. I think, you work 100 hours a week, you might end up making tons of money, but you might not be happy. So I'd say find that job and then be kind to the people that you work with. If there's someone younger than you, mentor them. If you have friends, be kind to them, and then mentor, volunteer outside. I think that's a better balance, and that's my thought. That's what I think.
A public school.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Recordando. ¿Estamos listos?
It's grabando.
El resto de la entrevista debemos hablar en español.
Oh shit.
¿Qué piensas?
Oh shit, that'd be funny. So we wrapped up on a little bit of Young Life.
Lo siento, güey, pero no entiendo inglés.
We wrapped up on some career, some Young Life. Hopefully we got some good footage in on kind of your childhood, growing up and all that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite song in high school you can remember and why?
I think this is crazy. I'm about to see these guys in concert. Taking Back Sunday, Q without the E. It's the most emo song you'll ever hear. I was weird in high school, man. We were all weird. It was cool to be weird.
What was the name of the band?
Taking Back Sunday, Q without the E. Yeah, I'll send you a link.
No thanks.
Trust me, it's a great song. It's a great song.
You go back in time and give your younger self advice. What grade and age would it be, and why? What would you tell yourself?
I mean, probably true to almost any age, but I'll pick like 8th grade because I feel like that was a time where like after 8th grade, it's like I got really busy with life. Before that, you're just a kid. But high school, I started studying and working and all that stuff. I would say you've got to slow down. You got to set boundaries in your life. Like you can't have so many commitments. You've got to learn how to manage your emotions because as men, we suck. Like this is huge. Like learning how to recognize your emotions and how to deal with them, how to talk about them. As men, we tend to just take the rug, sweep it under, and then I'm just gonna be angry.
You just ball it up, hide it.
Yeah,
And,
but you're crumbling inside.
It's like the men don't cry thing. But
Yeah, it's bogus.
Toxic masculinity.
It's so toxic, and it affects all of us, and it's really hard to learn how to manage that. So I would say that, and I would say you can be friends with everybody, that's fine, but you need to have one or two like closest confidants, people who know everything about you, and build your friendships around those two intimate friendships. Because you can have 100 friends, but that's fine. But you need to have one or two or three like intimate guy friends, and build your social circles around that. That's probably maybe that. Who knows?
Okay. If you can inspire one person watching this video, who do you want it to be, and what would you want them to know?
Oh man.
Advice, I guess. Anyone.
Yeah, I would say this. We'll do a little of this. Any kid who's ever been like one of my Young Life guys, so you guys included, it has been a joy and an honor. I feel like I've learned more from you guys than I have given to you. It's been a privilege. I don't say that in like a trying to sound humble. It's like literally, you guys have taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about just so many things. And if you want that in your life, you should go find some young dumbasses to mentor.
What morals do you live by?
Good question.
Like, are you, I guess, one to just, it's all about success no matter what?
Oh,
or
yeah.
it's like, I'm gonna make my way to the top, bring whatever I can with me. I mean, what are...
Yeah, this is a great one that's been helpful for me. It's like practical. Think about the news headline and anything. So if you're ever doing something that's maybe questionable, think about, all right, what if that got printed as front page headline? Would you be proud of that?
If everybody knew about it.
If everybody knew about it, this is headline news. So you think about cutting corners morally, it's just not worth it. The benefit you'll receive from cutting corners, and you can do that in so many different ways, like whether it's relationally, romantically, at work, career, your integrity, it's just not worth the edge that you'll get from lying, cheating, stealing. It's just not worth it. But there's, morality is so, such a big conversation. I think it's really simplified when you think of, what if this was like flashed on the news headline? How would you feel about that? That pretty much answers like almost how you can manage any situation. Also, when you're wrong, admit you're wrong. This is something I live by, but I believe you should apologize. A lot of people will try to like cover it up, like no. You just, if you own what you do, the weight, we don't realize how much immoral choices, like immorality, whether it's something small like lying or cheating, it weighs on us. And so the freedom you get from your conscience, so that's kind of that's one way I view my world, is just kind of that framework.
If you want to skip the next one, we can. But when was the last time you cried and why? Did it get better?
Yeah.
I like a movie.
Yeah, I was watching The Notebook the other night. No, I'm kidding. No, okay, so I don't know if this is a cry, but so very rarely I'll meet a girl after on a date that I get like really excited about, like super excited about. A lot of times it's like, it's silly, I know I'm still like 34, but like I'll get that like crush feeling still. And that's very rare, it happens not very often. I met a girl like that not too long ago, and we went on a bunch of dates, things were going well, and then she wasn't having it. And it sounds so like silly, but I didn't cry, but I had a moment, was like sitting right there, I was like, I am really sad that it didn't work out. Like just really sad. And I didn't cry, but I had to like, I just kind of put my head down, and I was like, had to take a breath, like she's not interested. And
oh well, yeah, I mean, probably felt like I'm not worthy, like
all those thoughts.
Why am I not good enough?
Totally.
Like that.
All things like, why was I not good enough? What did I do wrong? Is she talking to somebody else? All of those things. It's like, silly. We actually didn't go on that many dates, but I was just very excited. Yeah. And I think my excitement was probably inappropriate because we didn't know each other very well. But I was so excited, and then it ended like pretty abruptly. And I was like, man, I was so looking forward to seeing this. And so it wasn't quite a cry, but it was like I just had to take the
kind of feeling defeated. I got like 2-3 more. Is it? You got? Okay. What is the most important thing to you and why? It could be. It doesn't have to be an object.
Yeah. Man, I would say my faith. My faith has grown a lot. want to know who God is. How do we get here? Why are we here? And I realized as I've gotten older, faith is not having all the answers, but faith is admitting you don't have all the answers. Faith is admitting I'm human and God is bigger than me, and I want to know the answers. I just don't have them. I have to accept that I don't have the answers, and that's it's hard because I want to know, but it's peaceful when you realize I don't have all the answers. So
and then I guess the last one would be being sentenced to death. And when you're on your death chair, they give you your last meal.
Oh yeah.
What's your last meal?
The giant, triple, quadruple layered chocolate cake. Chocolate cake, chocolate icing, the cake's this much and the icing is almost the same, and a gallon of milk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Whole milk or chocolate whole milk?
Just whole milk, because that's too much chocolate. It's crazy, but you can have too much chocolate. So, but just one full cake with the gallon is just the right amount of
Dark
chocolate.
chocolate?
No, probably milk. I want milk chocolate. I want that sugar. I want that sugar sweet. Yeah, maybe maybe a dark chocolate cake with a milk chocolate icing, maybe. But no, milk on milk. We're doing milk chocolate.
Yeah.
Two more. You can answer whichever one first. I'll say it before I forget. What does it mean for you to be a man? And the second one is what do you think your purpose is? And if you don't know, that's fine.
Yeah. Gosh, what is it to be a man?
Yeah.
Golly, I could talk about this forever and debate, but I don't know that I can think of a singular, most important quality of being a man, but I think it would have to be somewhere around both being strong and vulnerable. Real men are not bullies. They are vulnerable with their emotions. But men are also men. They're strong. I think society would like to say there's blurry lines between gender. It's no, men are here to protect and be strong, but they're also here to be vulnerable and be sensitive. So I think that's my thought there. But that's a good question. I don't know. My purpose, man, I think I don't know. But all the thing that comes to my mind is, Jesus was asked, what are the greatest commandments? It says, love the Lord with all your heart, soul, strength, mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I'm I don't have a lot figured out, but if I live by those two principles, I think at the end of my life, even if I'm wrong about who God is, if I'm wrong about who Jesus is, if I'm wrong about all of this, that will be a life well lived. If I lived my life saying, I love God with all that I had, and I loved people really well, that's a life I feel like I could have no regrets about. So
pretty good, man. I really like that. Is there anything you want to?
No, that was inspirational. Jeez Louise.
All right, sweet.
I guess I'll ask you, then I'll answer real quick. For you, what do you feel like? Well, we're still pretty young, but what do you think for you? What's your definition of being a man, male?
I mean, Clark summed it up really well. I just think being a man, it's just honestly, it's just I didn't really think about it. I was really paying attention to Clark. No, honestly, when you ask me that question, the first thought that comes to mind is just when I think of a man, who do I think about? And obviously, I think of my dad, but I also think of other people too. It's the president.
Yeah.
That's a man right there, president. Just a figure that I would look up to. If it's a music artist, maybe it's somebody I've worked with one time, our former manager Alex. He's a man, and I think honestly, what defines it is just really just owning who you are. In every great man, there's a sense of ownership that's just unmatched about themselves, and they're just completely confident in their personalities. They're confident in who they are, where they came from, and what they know. And I think it's just owning exactly who you are and just being confident about it. I think that's just being a man. It's like, look at any great historical figure that was a man. That was probably the major keys to their success was that self-reliance, just knowing who you are and, being confident with it.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like.
What about you, man? What you got?
Well, I get it's I mean, one of my greatest mentors. He taught me this when I was so I'm still like really great friends with my 7th grade science teacher. I want to bring him on one day, but I asked him like when I was like 12, I was like, what does it mean to be a man? And he said, I think he said it's just taking responsibility of your actions, like owning up to your consequences. Like and that's all he said. And it's like, and it's true. It's like you shit the bed, that's like you gotta own up to it. Like you broke that promise, and you have to live up to it. You have to face it, all that. And that's like just one sentence of like hours of explaining.
Totally.
That's really about it. Other than that, I mean, it was great to. We hung out. We're gonna be hanging out more.
Yeah.
It was
cool though.
We had some technical setting up to do here. Some learning.
I think we did great.
I think we did too. I still can't believe that you got accepted to med school.
I can't believe I never told you that story.
Your dad was a doctor. Well, Kurt, appreciate you, man. Maybe we'll bring you on part 2 on who knows what.
Maybe a special guest.
Yeah, we'll bring you on and ask you how that Q1 concert thing went.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Q without the Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday.
Q without the E. Q without the E, which is also known as cut from the team.
Okay, well, yeah, man.
Shit.
Well,
That is some emo shit. That's just now. Shit.
We'll play it.
Oh, no, we won't. We're good on all
well,
that.
man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This is fun. This is cool.
I appreciate everyone watched, and see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Game on.
All right. Awesome.
Hi, Mom.